Mm.
Yes. So, of course, the first thing is go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are.
Hi, my name is Nia Ivy, a content creator and actress, and I live here in Los Angeles, California.
And so, what is it like being a content creator and actress?
It's, you know what? I think there's a lot of duality to it. On one hand, it's, everything that I've ever dreamed and hoped for. You get to meet so many incredible and amazing people being in this industry and coming across new people every day. And then on the other hand, I think it can get overwhelming sometimes because you're meeting so many people, but everybody has a beautiful way to show their art and what you get to learn from it. So, all in all, I think it's a really, really fun and a fluid experience.
And what are some challenges you had to face, being a creator?
Ooh. I think one of the challenges when I was younger getting into it was figuring out how to block out the noise when people wanted to see, I think, new content or old content, and I had grown out of either or space. And you want to listen to your fans, and at the same time, you're still your own human being. So sometimes it was hard, like trying not to read certain comments or going back to, an old version of myself because that's what people wanted to see again.
And name a post of yours that went viral, and how did you feel about it?
Oh my gosh. Well, recently I just had a post go viral of me pretending to do like a Michael Jackson impersonation and like yelling this really funny quote from a TikTok that's been blowing up recently. And I think moments like that where it's just me like authentically being myself and having fun and just propping the phone up, it makes me feel I think really good, and it kind of reminds me that people get to see themselves through me when I do really spontaneous stuff like that. And like also my celebrity documentaries, when those go viral, those always remind me of like why I moved to California to act. So yeah, it always serves as a good reminder.
And once you started getting attention, did certain things in your life change?
Oh yeah, when you start getting attention, everything kind of changes. I mean, you walk in a restaurant and you're getting food for free, and it's like, what? What are you talking about? You still want to pay for the food, and then people are like, no, 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 I love your stuff. So, I think the way the privileges that come with being known have definitely been new, and I've definitely been treated differently in that sense. But people still treat me with respect and with kindness because that's what I treat people with. But I definitely think there are certain privileges. You do get a lot of stuff for free, even if you try to go back on it. People just, they really connect with you. They love you. It's almost like you're a celebrity. Hmm.
And what are some things you enjoy about being a content creator, and what are some things you don't enjoy?
Well, I'll do what I enjoy first. I think I really do like I said, getting to meet a lot of new people, but I think I also really love uh getting to make my younger self happy because there's a lot of things that I wanted to do through being a content creator, like going on sets, out the country, being a part of modeling campaigns that at first you don't think will come from making comedy content, but it did. So I love those new opportunities, like getting to go outside the country and stuff for sure. That was like a big win for me last year. And I think the things I don't like about it so much is you. I make celebrity POVs, and it's really funny because then I start feeling sometimes like I'm a celebrity, like, oh, I probably can't, say like too much about like who I have a crush on or who I like or like be seen out because I get recognized out a lot. So you do have to be more private about certain things that in the beginning I mean, you didn't think twice about probably being private about, and now you have to have like a secret account and this, and that, and blah, blah, blah. You watch what you say in the DM, but you just have to be, courteous of the people around you too in this industry. Like we all have a certain image to uphold. So yeah, just gotta be more private.
And I saw on your TikTok that lately, you've been invited to a lot of award shows, and I
Aw.
wanted to ask, how do you feel about again being invited, going to those award shows? Like,
Uh-huh. Oh, I love going to the award shows because it just shows me the award shows show me where I want to see myself and where I think currently see myself, on the other side of those carpets and being the person I think that's going to get interviewed and leave people with something in hopes that whatever art it is I'm being recognized for said award show was able to touch that person in a way that has a lasting impact on them. So whenever I go to those award shows, I am fully present. I like to do my research beforehand. That's why in a lot of the clips that you see, I'm like holding whoever it is hand coming up to me, and I'm probably referencing something from way back when that they created or put out into this world because it impacted me in a way. So I always take those moments with the utmost weight, and I try to hold on to them a lot because it'll be me soon. So I love to learn. I become a student. I think when I go to those award shows a lot. Yeah.
And of course, now getting into Women's History Month, the first question would be, how do you encourage women empowerment in your content?
Oh my gosh. I think just by being myself, I think naturally I am very for women and for the people. I oftentimes will just vocalize it, and make certain posts uplifting my women friends that are doing beautiful things in the industry, and also my mother, and talking about the love that I have for my family. I will make posts talking about being a young girl, being a young Black girl, and what it was like seeing other girls on TV or not seeing a lot of Black girls on TV, and that, inspiring other women that we can do it. And we've always been able to, and we bring life into this world. If we can do that, I'm pretty sure we can do anything, whether then that's your choice or not. So I fully think it just shows up through how I naturally am. I talk a lot.
And what does women empowerment mean to you?
Oh, hmm. Women empowerment to me means no matter who or what tries to place a stereotype or a barrier or a ceiling on what you can do because of who you are and your gender, you surpass that naturally just because you have this fire inside of you to constantly show up for your inner child and the future version of you and the current you, because your dreams matter. So to any woman out there that's taking a chance on themselves, starting a new business, writing that book they've been waiting to write, pursuing any kind of career, or taking time with family, reconnecting with people. I think just being here and being you is enough because this world is very trying. And I think to still remain true in who you are and show those moments where you're strong and moments where you don't feel so strong, that's real. And I think that's what it is to be empowering, just being real.
And what's a woman figure in your life that, you're inspired by? Anyone personal to you or somebody you probably learned about, in school? I know you mentioned your mom, if you maybe want
Yeah.
to get into depth about that.
Yeah, definitely my mom. My mom had three kids and we were all under three. It's me and my brothers, so 21, 20, and 19, and was going back to school and was also still working as a teacher. And every morning we all shared one car in our family. So every morning she would get us dressed, take my dad to work at 4 a.m. We would come back to the house, we would get ready for school. She would teach at our school, so we would all go to work with her. We'd come back home with my mom. So when you think about it, she was with us 24, 25, 8. And still, when it came to our adventurous endeavors and what we wanted to do and how different me and my brothers were, and music and band and plays and after school projects, she was showing up. She was showing up for us in that way. She was showing up mentally and spiritually for us, always making sure that we were reading and we were open with her about how we were feeling at different stages of our life, becoming a teenager and a young adult. When we would have deep talks about, what was going on in our family and how we were growing as individuals, and me as an individual too, just my career, relationships, friendships, sexuality, all of these things my mom was present for and is never strayed away from. And I think she didn't see that when she was younger. And so for her to empower me in that way, times 10, she is my role model. She is a woman in my life that I look up to every single day. And I hope that people see a bit of her in me when I get to, meet them.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I love her. I'm gonna cry.
Oh.
Yeah, she's the best.
And what are some things I guess people should be educated about, maybe other than like Women's History Month, but I guess should be
Mhm.
educated about women in general?
Oh. things that people should be educated about with women in general. I think that people should really educate themselves on, I would say this is for everybody, but of course, specifically for women, when it comes down to I think mental health, because a lot of people and society and a lot of some men will do this thing where they're like, "Oh, you're a woman, you know, like you're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be in the house, and you're supposed to be late. You're supposed to want this." They will tell you what you're supposed to want, and I truly, truly feel like if more people educated themselves on the fact that women are just as human as you are, we're superheroes in a sense, yes, but we are still human at the end of the day, and you need to understand that times are different now, and you cannot put pressure onto what you think somebody will want or what their desire should be simply because they're a woman. I need more people to read again and to just go outside, touch grass, speak to women, want to learn women, want to love women, because like I said earlier, we bring life into this world. What I mean, it doesn't get crazier and more gifted than that. And I think people really need to know how to cherish that and want to explore women's minds because like I said, we all got brains, we all use them, and we should never be have stipulations just because of who we are and what society has told us we should be allowed to do.
And is there some things I guess people should know about you?
Y'all know everything about me. I'm just kidding. I do feel like people, I would love for people to get to know more of, I think, my deeper side, as some would say. I feel like through the content and the art I've been able to put out so far with comedy and acting and even music here and there, it's just little bits. I feel like we're all so complex. You know, you are, my manager is us on this call, like we all are so very complex. And I think I have a lot of side hobbies like poetry and journaling and writing books that people would never guess. But if you watch my stuff or you see how I research or where I pull my references from, I do like, you can tell I like to sit down and I like to slow my life down because everything moves so fast. Content is fast, this world, technology, all, everything. So I really do like to pace myself. And I feel like people probably don't know that just because I'm so like, hey, look at me, it's funny, and views here and likes there, and it's nice, it's fun, and I'm grateful. But I love, love, love to yearn for things and find the beauty in them, and it requires me to sit down and take time to myself.
And I hope this isn't an off-topic question, but I guess is there something you'd like to do research on? Maybe a book of yours that you like?
Oh yeah, I hope I'm getting the name right, but I believe it's called The Bluest Eye. And it's by a really incredible Black author, and I don't want to butcher their name, so I won't try. But if you search that, you'll be able to find it. It's pretty popular. And the insight that I got within just the first 10, 20 pages just about being a young Black woman, and that's something I would love to research more, is just how so many of us, we all have these I think stereotypes placed onto us, but we're all so different and lovely, and we're trailblazers and we're trend starters and trendsetters. And I feel like a lot of people know that, but they just don't want to acknowledge it. So I just love getting to know more about me and my culture and my people, and just like rooting for all of us day in and day out. So that is a book that I would love to get into more research and, give it its justice.
And is that the type of impact you want to leave, of course, like on your female audience? Want to make sure that they're all informed about a lot of things.
Oh yes. I think I can probably speak more about it. I know around a year ago I was making a lot of content that revolved around just, speaking up for women and against, social injustices and all of that, just being very outspoken. And I still remain very outspoken, but there are certain times where I have ideas just about content just for women, and making sure that we know we all have a home within one another. So I hope that through my content women know that they have a home and you can be yourselves. You can be funny, smart, intelligent, crazy, quirky. You can love anime, you can love architecture, you can love cooking, you can love rapping, singing, wanting to be early 2000s, 90s, current, future, anything that your heart is your heart's desire. I hope women can see that through me being a woman and being open in myself with so many amazing supporters and fans across the globe, that they could do the same thing. No questions asked.
And I guess for our last question, this kind of goes into, I guess, kind of giving our listeners advice.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how to articulate this. Was thinking about it through, before the interview, but not too long ago, you had posted a TikTok, and it was you, I think, after an award show, but you
Oh
were
yeah.
crying, but it was,
Yeah.
I think, more so out of tears of joy, and I think you were just
Yes.
like, yeah, talking about, of course, like your journey and like how far
Mhm.
you've came, and I, of course, just wanted to ask, like, what kind of advice would you give to, I guess, our listeners, but also, like, I guess, like someone like me who is, who always puts their work out there, but feels like, they're not getting what they want or they deserve. Or I feel like they have to work as twice as hard because, not only
Mhm.
they're a woman, but they're also black, like me. So
Mm.
it's like, what kind of advice
Mhm.
could you give?
Honestly, I would say because I felt that pressure as well when I first started out, I would say whatever gets you up in the morning, whatever keeps you up late at night, that is what I think you should truly keep putting out into the world. And I know there might not be a response so quickly, but if you start building these intimate relationships with whoever who is listening, if it's 10 people, if it's 100 people, if it's 1,000 people, when you think about that many people in a room, that's still a lot of people. And if you remain consistent on that message that you're trying to put out, eventually it will garner a larger audience and it will garner more people that want to hear it because whatever it is that, I always say, as long as you're not hurting anybody or hurting anybody else, with what you're saying, what you're putting out here, it's bound to change and impact somebody's life for the better, including yours. So with me, I knew going into making content that just because of who I am and how I look, I probably wasn't going to get the same opportunities right off the bat, but what was meant for me was meant for me. So I remained consistent in my celebrity documentary POVs. That was my first big thing to blow up. And I made probably 20, 30 parts of that series. In between, it was different skits here and there, but it was mainly that. And I remained consistent with it because I knew that that was what made me happy and it was resonating with people. And I was getting to show up and present myself as this force, a force to be reckoned with, which, I am as a Black woman who I love myself in all of the ways that I get to show up, in those moments where I'm crying tears of joy or where I am upset or where I am happy and overjoyed. I think I remained so consistent and kept putting myself out there to the point where people couldn't look away. No matter what the algorithm tries to push, who they try to push, what they want you to look like, I kept showing up as me every single day. And when I needed to take my breaks, I took my breaks. And then the checks started rolling in, and I made sure to nurture those relationships with brands that I believed in, with creators that I believed in, artists that I like to look up to, and stayed in contact and things like that. And I moved to LA and I started networking. So from there, I was on foot, making my moves, and I still am. I'm only 21, so this is just the beginning. And I think, yeah, remaining consistent and then also changing my environment from Missouri to California helped out a lot with just getting who I am out there more. So if you have the means to do so, if you want to change your environment, I recommend doing that. If you're getting stuck right now, I would say keep it consistent, and figure out ways that you can extend the quality of what you're doing. If that's a new camera or that's collaborating with other creators in your area, collaboration is always good.
I'm sorry if this sounds off topic, but
Oh,
you're
no, you're okay.
21, I'm 20, so this is very inspirational
Oh,
with what you said,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, I'm telling you, we can do it. We can do it. Like, oh my gosh, it's all for you. There's space for all of us, and people they don't want to admit it, but they need us. And a lot of these ideas and these trends that you see, you take a look around, you do some digging, and it's usually from a Black person. It's usually from a Black woman. So, yeah.
And I guess, is there anything else you'd like to add for the interview?
Aw, well, I just want to say thank you so much for reaching out to me and I think really asking me about that video too with me after the award show. That's a sweet thing because that was a very vulnerable moment for me because I just feel so accomplished and also at the same time there's still a lot that I want to do. So for people to see that video and see themselves in it and know that it's possible and it puts a smile on their face and I feel like a few of those people in the comments I saw went and manifested and took notes after that and really went and put their mind and heart into whatever it is that they had thought about doing, but maybe got too scared or maybe felt like there was a pushback and just, took a step backwards. And I feel like that I want to keep making moments like that, creating moments where we cultivate, togetherness between each other and happiness and optimism, especially nowadays, because I think things are can get pretty rocky. And if we know that we have one another and we support one another, we remain consistent, we, like I said, we're a force to be reckoned with. So I want to leave people with that and to always bet on yourself. And thank you again for being so sweet and kind. And I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you. I wish you nothing but success too.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you again for joining me on this conversation.